what USAID does and why Trump and Musk want to get rid of it. Dozens of senior officials put on leave, thousands of contractors laid off, a freeze on billions of dollars in humanitarian assistance to other countries. Over the last 2 weeks, President Donald Trump's administration has made significant changes to the U.S. agencies charged with delivering humanitarian assistance overseas that has left aid organizations agonizing over whether they can continue with programs such as nutritional assistance for malnutrition infants and children. Then President John F. Kennedy established the U.S. Agency for International Development, known as USAID, during the Cold War. In the decades since, Republicans and Democrats have fought over the agency and its funding. Here's a look at USAID, its history, and the changes made since Trump took office. Kennedy created USAID at the height of the United States Cold War struggle with the Soviet Union. He wanted a more efficient way to counter Soviet influence abroad through foreign assistance and saw the State Department as frustratingly bureaucratic at doing that. Congress passed the Foreign Assistance Act, and Kennedy set up USAID as an independent agency in 1961. USAID has outlived the Soviet Union, which fell in 1991. Today, supporters of USAID argued that U.S. assistance in countries counters Russian and Chinese influence. China has its own Belt and Road foreign aid program worldwide, operating in many countries that the U.S. also wants as partners. Critics say the programs are wasteful and promote a liberal agenda. And so basically, man, this is what people have been speaking about this USAID. I've had some pretty in-depth conversations about it, and they've been finding a lot of things where they can say, oh, there's a lot of waste and abuse. Like they said that there was 7.9 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid binary gendered language, 20 million for a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, 4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan, 1.5 million for art for inclusion of people with disabilities, 2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala, 6 million to transform digital spaces to reflect feminist democratic principles. It's just a bunch of little stuff that they're sending money out to do. But people don't. What I'm smart enough to understand is that a lot of that money, a lot of those what they label it as, sometimes they're not only used for just like aid programs. Sometimes they're used as militaristic, a way to get around. If I send you military aid and I call it military aid, people are going to say, oh, you're sending military aid over here. But if I send you this and say it's to combat this, then it also can be sent as military aid. China just got caught doing that. They got caught talking about they're sending like telephones or something over to some African nation. It was drones and guns.
And guns, yeah, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's going on. We act like we don't understand that. This is what's been happening. I mean, and at the same time, though, too, sometimes we use propaganda as a tool in order to promote what we want promoted around the world. It happens everywhere. They're promoting propaganda on our social media sites right now. What do we think? Do you think they labeled it propaganda for Americans social media sites? No, they're going to label it something else in their budget if they have to label it at all. The only reason we have to is because we have an actual budget. We have people who actually can say something about it. Other countries, Russia, what are you going to ask Putin what he spent the money on? You're not.
See, and the whole thing is all the people that are in there trying to destabilize the government, they're just outsiders looking in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like conspiracy theorists, like real ones and stuff, we know exactly, what these funds are for sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to have a Sesame Street show in Iraq. What's that show in America? You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. And it's going to be teaching a Sesame Street show, say it's in Iraq. It's also teaching them how to I find when I go to other countries, let me tell you this. They're talking about what's that show about Chris? So everybody hates Chris.
Everybody hates Chris, yeah.
They know that show. I'm like, you guys know this show. They're talking to me about shows like we love this show over here, but it teaches them to like American culture. They actually love American culture because of these things. That's what you guys don't get. You think, like, where are we trying to do this for? Because it helps us with the majority of the people. The government can be one thing, but the people is another way. It's a different situation because eventually it'll evolve into what we want it to be. That's what propaganda is all about. It's not about.
And I mean, my bad to cut you off, but it also goes to the him firing the CIA. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones giving all this information back to us to make, what I'm saying?
We're a whole other segment. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're talking, but I'm saying this is all going to just make us less safe. So some rich guy can get money.
He knows it, man. He knows exactly what he's doing. He has, to me, I believe that the internal strife that he's causing is so that the oligarchs can take power. That it's going to take us generations to ever get back. You cause so much confusion. You break down regulation, cut down agencies. Imagine how many people he had to hire 80 something thousand, damn near 90,000 new IRS agents to deal with all the rich people and all their money and where it's at. I mean, what do you think that's going to happen when they're all fired? We have to deal. How far are they going to be ahead in 4 years before we can ever figure out? Now, man, if he's in the system now, he can. I mean, what do you think he's going to bug this dude's? Man, come on, bro. We know what Elon Musk is about.
Yeah,
Another thing
we know
too,
what Elon's doing.
externally.
Yeah, I mean, and
you're making
knows,
us safe externally as well.
Who knows? Elon Musk isn't even working for another foreign government. That's why you said people don't mess with him, bro, because he's too friendly with everybody.
He couldn't even get into our. He couldn't even get a
security
pass, basically security clearance to get into our government before because he was too friendly with other foreign heads of states.
And now he has his fingers in all of it.
And you guys are sitting, and you guys are defending him after he told you guys you're subtards, a retard. He called you everything under the sun. And you go blank yourself in the face, and you guys are like, "Oh, Doge, yeah." I mean, because this tells me what kind of people you really are.
Because to them, because to them, they see it as them hurting. They're vicariously living through them, trying to hurt all us. As long as they see 4 or 5 people, I can't believe they're doing this to us online. They're happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'd be happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy when stuff happens to Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Not yeah. Fuck, I don't care. Stuff happens to some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like
this is how I feel. I mean, it's happening to America.
Yeah.
That's bigger than
all of us.
It's bigger than
all of us.
Stuff. It's happening to this country. We are cratering as a nation in front of the world. We are not watching our flanks in front of the world. You think that this is, I mean, what's going to happen is all his administration is going to do is do the same thing it did for October 7th when it happened with the Jewish people over in Israel. It's just setting us up for another hit down the line, and everyone's going to blame the administration that's in power, but it was really this dude weakening us right now.
There won't be another administration in power.
I understand that. You keep on saying that.
I told you that. I told everybody that from the get. I said he's going to be the last. You let him in, he's going to be the last president we ever have.
I'm starting to believe it. I can't
ever.
Tell you that
I told you, bro. It's like that's after Obama got elected. Like America is not the country that our forefathers wanted us to have. So the only thing we can do is take it and change it. Like Tariq Nasheed says that all the time. He's like, as soon as you beat white people in their own game, they change the rules.
I mean, quickly as they can.
Racism. That's real.
It's a fact. It's a fact. I could tell you where it's happened. I know for sure. I know things that I can tell you that this happened this way during this time for these reasons. And it's easy to talk about. But I'm gonna jump on to the next one. You got one?